Welcome back. This is still Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. You're welcome to Mainland Focus. We have reviewed most of the stories that have been reported in the front pages of the papers. Well, it's time for us to streamline these conversations and pick about one or two and then have more analysis and also take contributions from you, the audience, about these matters. We have chosen our story for this morning. We're speaking about the drug crisis in the country and, of course, the controversies that have trailed the decision of the federal government to suspend temporary, or should I say halt, the removal of a fuel subsidy. As you know, initially the announcement of the fuel subsidy removal, it caused a lot of mixed reaction, and many were citing the, should I say, economic woes that would most likely betide those who are middle income earners, low income earners in the country. And you know that the budgetary provisions for a subsidy elapses in June. At least that's what the 2023 budget provides. But now it would seem like the federal government is taking a U-turn on the matter, and in fact some sort of extended committee, including the mid upstream petroleum sector, also the midstream sector, the Minister for Finance, and there's also a representative from this incoming administration, forming some sort of committee to have a conversation about how to mitigate the effect of the subsidy removal, as well as they'll think of a timeline, or should I say that is more suited for the removal of fuel subsidy. Don't forget that the government has tried to increase the salaries of some workers. They also took some sort of loan from the World Bank, $800 million, which they said will be distributed to certain Nigerians who are on a list, who they think are the most vulnerable and will be the most affected by the removal of fuel subsidy. So on that particular matter, I beg your pardon, we want to talk about, is the suspension a welcome decision? Do you think the federal government has made the right decision when it comes to suspending the removal of fuel subsidy? Again, don't forget that subsidy was, or should I say provisions for subsidy elapses in June of this year according to the 2023 budget. So there's most likely going to be a supplementary budget, and there's concerns about our budget deficits rising above the current 11 trillion naira. Now, what should be the focus of the outgoing and incoming government on the issue? What matters should they primarily find a way to tackle? And now that they have a committee, and the incoming government is also going to be a part of the discussions that would happen. Also, are we simply postponing the evil day? Do you think we're postponing doomsday? Should we just go on ahead and remove it? Let's deal with whatever consequences will come out of it, and then when the benefits come, we would be fast to forget all the hardship that we experienced when subsidy was removed. And also, what should be the priority of the National Economic Council on the issue? NEC, what exactly do you think should be their primary function in the midst of all of this discussion? So these are the questions that we would like for you to answer for us this morning. Now, regarding the drug abuse crisis that we have in the country, I'm pretty sure many of you walking down the street, you see these things happening. We've had people call into the station talking about as early as 5 a.m. You see these boys, you see these young people on the street, consuming hard drug. And the fact that these things are now easy to get is on the open market. Even medications that are not supposed to be over-the-counter medication can be gotten at very, very cheap prices without any prescription whatsoever. How bad do you think is the situation of drug abuse in the country? What role do you think the government, the parents, the community can do to help with minimizing drug abuse among young people in the country? Are we looking into a health crisis? Would we in the nearest future start to see a health crisis attributed to the current drug abuse that we are dealing with at this moment? Don't forget that we have a very fragile health sector, and we cannot say for a fact that we have enough hands to deal with the health crisis in the eventuality that it happens. So these are the two focal points for this morning: the drug crisis, the drug abuse crisis in the country, and also the subsidy removal suspension by the federal government. We do have Fuhad here. Fuhad, we would like to get your perspective on these matters first before we allow the listeners say something about it. Fuhad, what do you think about these two situations?
Well, I'll make it very fast because I think I've actually said so much about these two issues during trends in the papers. And basically, I would say that I know for sure that subsidy cannot be removed in the way it was planned to remove. We're going to run into serious economic crisis. We're going to run into serious crisis in the country. And I'm not surprised that it's suspended unless the incoming government will deal with. But again, what I'm saying is that what should be the priority of the National Economic Council, the incoming government, and everybody in government, even the National Assembly, the same National Assembly, will be how we can quickly fix the problem of our inability to refine crude oil locally. We need to solve that problem as a matter of urgent national importance. Because that's the solution. That's the only enduring solution that we can bring to the table as far as subsidy removal is concerned. If we are able to solve our local refining capacity, then we'll not have any reason to talk about subsidy or no subsidy, basically. In fact, we're going to be able to make more money and smile to the banks and even show up our foreign reserves and all of that, the way other oil exporting countries are doing now, like Saudi Arabia, Angola, and the rest. We should be in a situation of making so much money at this time now because of rising crude prices across the world. But unfortunately, here we are talking about 11 billion budget deficit. We can't fix our refineries. We are looking at almost 7 trillion naira spent on a subsidy regime that is fraught with so much corruption. So we can't. There's no easy way out of this problem. We just have to do the right thing. And what is the right thing? We have to find a way to start to refine locally. I just summarize that on that. On the issue of our health challenges with drug abuse amongst our youth, we are looking at a serious health crisis going forward amongst our youth in the future. The youth in their 20s who keep abusing drugs, keep taking on of substances and the rest, their bodies are still taking those things because they are young and their organs are still very strong. When they begin to approach the age of 40 and above, they will know the bad things they've done to themselves. Unfortunately, we have a very fragile health sector that does not take care of these things. And so it is important. Yes, the government will do what they can. Now that is doing a lot of work. NDA is doing a lot of work. But again, these kids have a way of even coming up with their own substances. They mix all manner of things. They call themselves science students because they can come up with all manner of concussions. They just make themselves high. But I fear for the future of our youth. And I fear for the future of the country because, again, the youth are supposed to be the leaders of tomorrow.
Right. Well, Fuhad, thank you very much for your contribution on these matters. I will open the phone lines now for people to call in and talk to us about what they think about the drug abuse crisis that we're currently battling in the country, and of course the plan of the federal government to suspend the removal of subsidy until a later date, at least until deliberations are being made into how best to remove subsidy and also how to cushion the effects that this would have, especially on vulnerable Nigerians who do not have the financial capacity to withstand the economic tribulations that would most likely trail the removal. 0913-6000-410. That is the number that you will call. Now, if you want to send a WhatsApp message or a text message, you can do so via the number 0913-6000-430. We are on social media, Facebook, YouTube. We're streaming live. Mainland FM 98.3. That's the handle. And for Twitter, at Mainland FM. You can also drop your comments on there. If you're unable to reach us via the phone lines, you can leave your contributions on the social media platforms, and we will be willing to take them. Now let's take our first call for this morning. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Hey, pretty lady, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Good morning to you.
Thank you for another day. Fuhad, good morning.
Please go ahead.
As far as I'm concerned, I've always said it, fuel subsidy is just naira devaluation. That's all. When this president came in, he removed fuel subsidy, and then the naira got devalued. And if we continue like this, God forbid, we may end up like Zimbabwe. Because the more the naira gets devalued to the dollar, the more this subsidy remains. So don't we look for a solution for our problems? For 8 years, there was no solution. And billions of dollars have gone down the drain in terms of repairing our refineries. And trillions of dollars in terms of subsidy, the so-called subsidy. So I think that the essence of governance is to alleviate the suffering of the people. But in this country, the essence of governance is let me go there and take my own share of the national cake. On the issue of drug, we even have politicians, leaders today who were drug addicts. So these youth have discovered that, these politicians are there to So they have laid a role model for them. And apart from that, the drugs themselves, we need to commend now, what do you call it now, NDLEA. But that's why the NDLEA said that we should try and be examining politicians. These drugs that they are taking, is by the time they get to, according to 40, 50 years, it will destroy the liver, the kidney in them. An idle man is the devil's workshop. If you don't have jobs, they can come for me. I'm not saying that because they don't have jobs, they should take drugs. No. But they should engage the youth.
Thank you so much.
They should find something to do for them. As I'm rounding up, the drug issue is a very big.
Good morning. Thank you. Please round off 2 minutes, please. Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, morning to you.
This is Okangolina.
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
We can't run away from it. And you cannot remove the so-called fuel subsidy. You cannot from those their offices. So they should not even think of it. They promise us to build refineries. Each for every year there will be one refinery. For 8 years we got 0 refinery. So what are they telling us now? If you want to remove fuel subsidy, be prepared for the chaos that will come up. So this one they are just postponing. I know they cannot even remove it. If they remove it, it will affect them more than ourselves. And on the drug issue, so are you with me?
I'm with you.
We cannot make any progress in the drug issue. I'm telling you, most of those politicians that are there now and are the ones coming, they have drug cases hanging on their neck. You know what I'm saying? So they can't do anything about it. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for your contribution. We appreciate you. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning to you.
Yeah, Madam Faith and my dear friend Fuhad.
Good morning.
This is Barrister Peter Okuo from Mainland.
Welcome, Barrister.
Yeah. On this issue of removal of, suspension of the
Subsidy removal.
removal of. Yes. Well, I will say that it is timely and auspicious because, first of all, many Nigerians, majority of Nigerians, including myself, we don't believe that there is anything like subsidy, because of the monumental corruption in the oil industry, in the petroleum industry, where the president is the minister also. We don't believe, in fact, Nigerians are the ones subsidizing the corruption in the oil industry. We are not benefiting from our being owners of petroleum, like countries like Angola, like Saudi Arabia, and other countries that have petroleum. They are enjoying the ownership, but here we are not. Instead, we are suffering several times. There's no increase of fuel, So I think the issue of petrol subsidy is good. They suspend it, and in fact, they should cancel it. Nigerians don't want to hear anything about subsidy. We don't even know what is subsidy.
Thank you.
They should define the subsidy.
Thank you.
Before you even talk of removing it.
Thank you very much.
How do you talk of removing something that we don't believe in?
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you. Please, let's stick to the 2 minutes that have been allotted to us. And again, like I always say, when I start to prompt you to round off your submissions, because I don't want you to lose your train of thoughts, please just start to round off so I don't cut you off abruptly. Okay, please. Hello, good morning to you. Hello. You're live.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you.
Yeah. My name is Eyo from Ikorodu.
Welcome, Ayo.
Yes, I think on the politics of subsidy removal and not removal, we learned that Federal Executive Council has put a stop to it. Now, the problem is this: when the Babalola administration was coming in,
they told us subsidy was a scam. Understand? And there was something like subsidy. And now they end up paying more subsidy than even the federal government that we have, that we are thinking of. Understand? How comes? How comes what they said was a scam? They end up paying more. Understand? And now you want to remove a subsidy. Just like what your analyst said.
Yeah.
Yes. Have they repaired the refineries? Now, if you say you are not repairing for that, you want to remove subsidy, are we not going to suffer even more? Because see, the refineries are not being repaired. Those who are importing, they keep on importing fuel from outside, and they are going to base on our weak currency. And whoever is doing business is doing business to make profit. So they are not going to, the final consumers are not going to bear the brunt of whatever they are doing. So the priority is this. First of all, repair the refineries first. Leave the fuel subsidy. By the time refineries are being repaired, gradually you want to remove subsidy. There will be no problem. But now you want to remove subsidy, and refineries are not being repaired. And these importers are still importing fuel, and they are still going to sell it to us. You understand? They are going to add the cost of landing and everything to sell it to us here now. We may consider our own flight. You understand? So they should please exercise patience. The incoming government will look at it. If it's possible, after the matter, they can do that. Please, thank you.
Yes, thank you for calling. Hello.
Hello, Babalola. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday. Thank you.
Peter Monster from Somini.
Welcome, sir.
Now, I remember when Abiola was campaigning in 1993, he told us then that every day he will let Nigerians know how many barrels of oil are produced, how much they are sold, that he will give daily accounts of oil so that Nigerians will know how much we are making. I could not believe that it is only PMS, kerosene, and diesel that come out from the crude oil. What of other products that we are told about 14 to 17 other products are derived from the processing of the crude oil? Are we not selling those ones? Where is the money of those ones? That if they want to continue this farm, they can use that money to sponsor this farm of the cost subsidy. I want to ask Nigerians, is Dangote retail a whole country in Nigeria? That Dangote, within 6 years, and this government is going to 8 years, Dangote can do a refinery, and Nigerian government go to buy so from there. Is Dangote richer than Nigeria? I don't understand. Because these are the same questions that we should ask. For me, maybe we are in it. Let us just stay here. Where we say God will help us, I believe God will help us, because these people are bigger than us, stronger than us, they have more weapons than us, we cannot do them anything, but God will do them something. And finally on drugs, Fuhad is concerned about the future of the youth. I think I am concerned about the future of Nigeria itself. For the youth, they have their plan. They know that they have precedents, they have mentors, that tomorrow what they will do is to join politics and vie for the higher office in the land. They want to be president tomorrow, so we may not stop them. Let's think about Nigeria and leave the youth alone. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. We appreciate you. Let's now take messages that we have gotten so far since the start of the show. You can send text messages. That's for those of you who don't have a smartphone. You can send direct text message to the number 0913 6000 430. You can also send your WhatsApp message to that particular number. And if you would rather communicate with us via social media, like I've said multiple times, we are streaming on Facebook and YouTube. You could go on there at Mainland 98.3 FM. That's our handle on Facebook and YouTube. There's the chat option for you there to type your message and let us know what you feel about the two matters that we have brought to the front burner. We're talking about the drug abuse crisis and also the plan of the government to suspend subsidy removal until further notice. Now back to the WhatsApp messages that we have gotten so far. Good morning, Mainland FM. You see the reason why INEC selected engineer from Alimosho. I'm sorry I cannot take that particular message, but thank you for sending it. Good morning, crew. I'm Oke and Tony from Idimu. We were told last year that they started maintenance of our refineries, that they would be producing early this year. What is the situation with the refineries now? Are they no more working? That is a question that was asked by Oke Anthony via WhatsApp. Thank you very much for your contribution. Let me take another WhatsApp message here. Good morning, Sage and Fuhad. This is Godwin from Ilasa. It could be that a neck heard Fuhad's position on the removal of subsidy. An adage says that he whom would be found guilty of a case on Monday, if the same case is judged on Thursday, he will still be found guilty. Sage, the way forward is to have our refineries working maximally. When we have politicians who are less greedy, then we may have politicians who think rightly and know that weakness of our monetary rate is exposed because of pressure from PMS importation, which is hugely what we are subsidizing. For the drugs in our youth, are they not the ones that our political leaders are using as political thugs now? We all saw what happened during the last election. Why are youth who indulge in hard and illicit drug not chastised by supposed leaders? What we will have more youngsters who are getting into it. The worst thing in this country is not having culprits punished. We trust God to give us a good leader. Thank you very much. I'll take one more message here and then we can go back to the phone lines. Hi, Mainland FM. On the issue of suspension of the removal of subsidy, I think it's like extra life for those that plays video games. While we have been given this chance, let us use it to build refineries and encourage modular refineries. Even Dangote will be buying from us if we sell to the international market. On the issue of drug abuse, our survival index in Africa is 50. But if we continue to abuse drug at this rate, the youth expectancy lifespan will be reduced to 30 years, and this is not a joke. What are all this young ones see on social media by their so-called mentors, especially the music industry, is another factor to be considered aside politicians. Finally, let us live as one and continue to preach against ethnic bias and tribal bigotry. Sean, thank you very much. Very interesting perspective. Aside from the fact that a number of people think that politicians are responsible for the rise in drug abuse cases we have, we should also talk about the entertainment industry and how they promote the abuse of illicit drugs in their music videos and what have you. Thank you so much, Sean, for raising that. Let's go back to taking phone calls. Hello. Please the volume on your radio. Hello.
Yes, I want to.
Okay.
Good
morning to you, Prince Wires.
Thank you, my dear. You see, when you talk of subsidy, I said it the other time, that it is private refineries to come on board before you can talk of taking away the subsidy. And as of now, you want to sit down at the round table with and you remove the subsidy. There's no lot of promotion because the Nigerian because they are drumming for war now. So the best thing to do, where the incoming government go too far, is now the Nigerian Labour Congress, and if you allow the passion for the refinery to take off, even though the one we have now, they say they are restoring them, if you want to do the best thing to do is to partner with the public. Because anything pertaining to refinery in this country, corruption can never make it work. It has not been working before. And as it is today, if you want federal government to build refinery and be possible, the best thing to do, federal government a partner with private body and have a refinery. At the end of the day, it will work. Because as of today, we must remove this subsidy. If we fail to remove it, it means we are subsidizing a lot of West African countries. Go to Ghana today, they will not now pay double subsidy. The money that to go for development will not go for subsidy. And those who take, oh my God, Babalola, we keep one thing, that is corruption. The moment we keep corruption in this country, everything get better. Good morning to you, Father. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Have a better day. Hello, good morning.
Morning to you, Sage.
Yes, good morning.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. Welcome.
Well, subsidies or no subsidy. Our economy, we will say we want to take away subsidy to spend very little money, 5,000 naira, as a cushion for hyperinflationary system we are having now. It's not a good policy at all. And it is an attempt to take us back to colonial period, which is not good for Nigeria. But why should we be borrowing money in order to just go for that policy alone? Like why I just said, we need to repair our refinery. Also encourage modular refinery, although most of the modular refinery cannot produce in the IC, looking for buyers. If we are producing in Nigeria, we can be selling the product, finished product to people, even neighboring African companies, or even exporting them. It would have been better for us. Why can't we put on our thinking cap and do the needful? Concerning the drug, we need private partners and let us have good economy that will be boosted, and we have GDP that will improve our development. That's number one. Secondly is that of the area of drugs, which is reducing the age, the lifespan of our people. I thank God for what Marwa is doing, but we need to improve on it. They need to go to nooks and crannies of our cities and our villages. They are going to where they are planting NDIM, but where they are taking it should be discouraged.
Thank you.
Let them push them and then discourage these people.
Thank you very much.
Let them be taking it in their own private room, where they will be exposed as time goes on.
Thank you.
They need to do more. God bless Nigeria.
Yes, thank you very much. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Joe from Bariga.
Welcome, Joe from Bariga. Thank you.
My dear, I asked my brother to refill the tank just now for what he used $20 to refill that tank. But then we will say, oh, fuel is very expensive in US. Oh, it's very expensive in China. Oh, it's very expensive in India. Foul. Please. In all the countries in the world, they subsidize. Even food we eat, they subsidize it. So this issue of fuel subsidy should not come for now. Let them repair the whole refinery before we talk about this fuel subsidy again. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for your zero. For those of you who would like to send a text message or a WhatsApp message, Facebook is there. You can also send your contributions via Facebook at Mainland 98.3 FM. We're currently streaming live, by the way. So if you cannot listen to us via your radio, if you have access to the internet, just go to your Facebook platform at Mainland 98.3 FM, and you can definitely participate and you can send your messages on there as well. I'll take about 3 to 4 more calls, and then we can go back to taking the text messages, WhatsApp messages, and also Facebook contributions that we have gotten so far. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, morning to you.
Yeah, this is SM Gete, calling from Agbara.
All right, welcome.
Yeah, when we talk of drug-related issue in this country, the celebrities, the parents, they are not helping issue. And I don't know why we are bringing back. They claim to be the leader of tomorrow. So that issue is a very serious issue as far as I'm concerned. So cannot do it. Except everybody come together and fight drug-related issues. Look at anywhere you go, you see them selling all these sachet something. Nobody is doing anything. Nobody is doing anything to it. We are praising them. We are celebrating them. It's not good for this nation. Coming to subsidy, if we have 36 refinery in this country, we will still see problem of crisis because of corruption. Nothing else. If any no headway. That is the way I look at it. So.
Please the volume on your radio, please. Hello.
She's not completely. John from Ogba.
Welcome.
Yeah. About fuel subsidy removal.
Yeah.
Fuhad has said it all. They have to build our refinery or repair the existing ones. No two ways about it. And I've been saying this. Whenever the dollar goes up against the naira, we are in for a hell of a bad time. No two ways about it. And about Malami issue, can I join what I said? They knew exactly what will happen. They know that there is no palliative that will cushion the effect of the hardship of subsidy removal. No palliatives, no succor, nothing will mitigate the harsh effect. Nothing, except they build our refinery. And it is compelling they do that. So that is for drug-related issues. So you see, Nigeria has become a place where everything goes.
You go to Ikeja, you see these guys under the bridge. They hug these things in broad daylight. Whenever they are even scared of my life, and nothing is being done. And they are there doing all these things in God naked light. They are daylight. Well, God will save us. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's take WhatsApp messages for a change. Food ingredients to prepare a proper meal, but he or she doesn't know how to cook, even though he calls himself a chef. That is why the president can apologize for not doing a great job. Then it's not worth it. Okay, I don't know what issue you are addressing exactly. Dio from Fagba, I don't know what issue you're talking about exactly. We have two stories, it's quite clear. You're not addressing anyone whatsoever. So if you would like to send a different message addressing a precise matter, then I'll take the rest of your message. Thank you. Good morning, mainland crew. We have predators behind subsidy, and they will not allow the removal. Restore local refinery. We're running lost on daily basis for subsidy. Billions of dollars are being spent. Another name for scam in Nigeria is subsidy. Let's see how our local refineries will work without the removal of subsidy. Jacob Cole sent that particular message via WhatsApp. Thank you very much. I will plead with everyone who is against the final time of subsidy removal to sheath their swords, reason being that we have suffered enough from the deceit of the government on this subject matter. Remember that before they are coming, they made us believe that it was a scam and nothing like that. And immediately they assumed office, they began to increase the price for 3 times now. So for me, it's better people allow them to remove it instead of facing another round of increase from them. This incoming Tinubu administration. Chika Bende from Trade Fair in Lagos. Thank you. Again, 0913 6000 410. That's the phone line. 0936 430 is for WhatsApp messages.
Sorry, everything.
It's okay. Please.
From Yanabaja.
What? Your name is what?
He came from Yanabaja.
All right. Please go ahead.
What happened to the collected money? $800 million. What are they going to do?
We don't have any report on that so far. Gave them that particular of some kind as to ensure that the money is actually used for what it was requested for. So that's a loan that they cannot necessarily divert into anything else, because the World Bank has their eyes on how the money is being spent. So I do not see in the future that it would be diverted into something else. It will probably still go into, being distributed to the vulnerable Nigerians that they claim to have captured on the social list. So that's probably what will happen. But if there's any information about that, be sure that Mainland FM will provide you with such information. We have a message here via text. Good morning, Mainland FM. My name is Joe from Berger. About the drug issue, I have called your station severally to report about it. I even got some NDLEA's numbers, reported this, but nothing is done about it. In my compound, a dealer stays there. The youth smoke from dusk to dawn. Thank you very much for that message. I mean, we still. I know that it would be impossible to really do everything, but then the NDLEA have been doing a fantastic job in clamping down on drug abuse in the country. They've done a fantastic job. They've been able to arrest those who are up there, who are in charge of this distribution. But yes, I do agree with you that more has to be done, and I appreciate the fact that you're willing to report a matter of a drug dealer who in your environment. Hopefully the appropriate authorities get on top of this information and make come down, Lola.
Yeah, on the issue of subsidy, the question is removal of subsidy. What is even this palliative all about? What are the vulnerable Nigerians? How are we going to identify them? So if I'm to buy food for 400 naira, are you telling me, or maybe even 500 naira? So a larger percentage of my income will be going into buying food, knowing fully well that country, Nigeria, technically runs on floor. It's something we need for power, transportation, in the manufacturing sector is really needed. So have you considered the impacts of inflation and the likes? I keep saying this. Can't we just make the refineries work? Can we support modular refineries? Must we don't gain anything from the government, and then must they continue to make life hard? And if the new government, Abbas already said he's going to remove it during his campaigns. But I don't think if he should do that, don't you think he'll be starting on the wrong footing? Because the revolts from the people would be so bad that even himself would. Well, I will advise him not to throw that part. That's the truth. If you find a way to make the modular refineries work, then possibly the ones they are fixing, they should get it. Then give more licenses to people to invest in refinery business and the likes. And on the issue of drugs, this is it. It might be unpopular, but I think they need to start sanctioning most of the musical videos we see on there. Because most of them are like role models to so many of these boys. You see 16, 17, 18 years old guy becoming drug addicts. It's the truth, yeah. And it's not because their role models are the ones doing it. You know, you just go and the OECs are puffing and smoking and things like that. I think we should start from there. The National Orientation Agency should do more. The truth is NDLA is trying, but they can't do everything.
Yes.
Like somebody actually told you in his compound, I expected you to kind of, most of the people you see smoking today, when I was staying in Mushi, behind our house, even in Battle, you nail it. Now, the funny thing is most of the younger folks then are grown, and they're already selling it though. I won't want to talk much about that. You get. Thank you very much, Father Blessing. Let me just end it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yes. Hello. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you.
Don Peter is my name.
Welcome, sir.
I'm calling from the legislature. Sid, I've been listening, and I was enjoying the conversation, the contribution of ordinary cannot work because of, I don't know why, because of what he said. I can just not repeat it. But the truth is this, that refinery was built in Nigeria. I think it was what we should be looking at right now is, why is it not working? It was working before. It was serving Nigeria for years and years. But right now, Nigeria is trying to depend on Dangote. Why the one we have on ground that have been serving Nigeria is not serving? If there is a sincerity of purpose, we should be probing. Why is it not working as at this moment? Let's work on it. And how can we do that? Is by getting the right leadership, the people who have the interest of the people at hand. That is what we'll be looking at. Not to depend on Dangote, as the man said, by telling us that it cannot work. But it has been working before. That refinery was not built in Israel. It was not built in Togo. It was built in Nigerian soil, managed by Nigerians, and it was serving Nigerian people. So how can somebody tell me that it cannot work? There are some certain callers, when they call, you try to probe what they are saying. Because they cannot be selling things to us, and they want all of us to be
I understand you, but he made a statement. He cannot work because of corruption. I don't think he definitely means that it would never work. He's just saying that corruption is the biggest bane of our refineries functioning in the country. So let's not, take out snippets of people's comments and, try to make a storm out of a glass of water. I appreciate your contribution. I definitely understand that we do not need pessimism, especially at this point in our lives. We have to be optimistic and trust that the right things will be done. I understand you. I appreciate your contribution, but let's move on to other important matters. Thank you very much for calling. I appreciate you. Let's go back to taking contributions. Hello, good morning. You're live. The volume on your radio. Hello,
good morning.
Yes, morning to you.
My name is Shebo. I'm calling will never work. Because when we are talking about suicide, these people is a cabal, and they have refinery, their own private refineries. So why national oil will work?
Let's just be optimistic. Okay, it will work. Let's just it will work. We know the problem.
I believe
so
it
since
will
we
work,
know the problem, we can come up
time.
with a solution. That's what I think.
Yes, the solution, we can come up with a solution and sit together. And the new government will come. Let us see what the new government will do. Because,
go ahead, please. He'll be with us shortly. Go ahead.
Yes, this goes to Oga Fuhad, because Oga Fuhad never liked Taki Boys. And when Taki Boys were in the power during 96, 97, there's nothing like all these small boys smoking. But since when all these Agbero come to existence, as when all over Nigeria now, you will see on 9, 10 smoking. So is this Agbero that caused all these things? You see all of them outside.
I disagree with you. I disagree with you. Drug abuse has been a problem right from time. Maybe it's now more prominent is now in our faces because we have social media. We can see these things. That's why it's just happening. But I can assure you, I think drug abuse has been a problem for a very, very long time.
Saying, are you
Yes, I'm with you.
He was not much early 90s.
Yes,
I understand.
Yeah.
It was when some governors enter and bring this stuff.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think so. I can understand that, yes, some street urchins, they do it publicly and what have you, but I will not exactly attribute the plethora of drug addiction cases that we are seeing, in the country to the emergence of certain political persons or what have you. I don't think that we can necessarily do that. We don't have information that backs that notion up. Yes, maybe they might have been a catalyst to the situation, but they are not primarily the cause. I really hope that you can understand my perspective as well. But thank you for calling. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
Yes, I heard when people say modular refinery.
You didn't tell us your name or where you're calling from.
Mr. Joseph.
All right.
Yes, modular refinery does not produce the fuel. It doesn't produce fuel, but they can produce the gas, gasoline, and kerosene. So modular refinery, when people talk modular refinery, it doesn't produce fuel. Thank you.
I mean, we still need all of this thing. Well, I don't know about that, but then I think that it's still the simple distillation of crude oil. You can see use modular refineries for that, and there's some modular refineries. And there's some modular refineries that have been shut down by the government, where crude was actually being produced. And even if they primarily produce kerosene and other extractants from crude, I mean, these are still important things. Kerosene is about 1,000 naira per liter. So if we are able to get that, I still think that would be significant to minimizing the economic woes that people are going through at this time. But thank you very much for that information. Hello.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yes, I'm with you. Good morning.
How's Fuhad?
He's very well, thank you.
Okay. Serge, I called yesterday, and while I was talking, because of my time was limited, you decided to end my call.
Okay.
Now, the situation we have in the country is terrible. And I keep on saying that as long as we are working to get a change from this very present government, headed by APC, I'm not talking of Tinubu now. I'm not talking of who is the president now, but as long as the APC is in power and is still ruling this country, we should not expect anything good to come out from it. Hello?
I'm with you. Go ahead.
So now I want everybody to just be assured of that. That as long as APC is still in power, for example, imagine the president saying that immediately he retired, nobody should disturb him again. That he doesn't have any advice for the country, he will not say anything and whatever. We needed a different political power to rule the country.
Please, I'm sorry, I want to understand, what story exactly are you addressing? The subsidy removal?
The two issues that because this government cannot make a change.
Okay, thank you very much. The questions were very clear. What do you think we need to do? What role do you think we can play? What do you feel about the decision to suspend the subsidy removal? The questions are clear. We're not exactly doing any form of appraisal of this government's tenure or anything. I know that is equally as important, but please, I really like us to give direction to our conversation, so let's stay on board, all right, so that we don't open up another conversation and everybody jumps on something that is not the focus for this morning. Please bear with me. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Serge.
Yes, morning to you.
Timothy, calling you from Ojo.
Welcome, Timothy. You're my last caller for today. Please go ahead. You have a minute.
Okay, I have a question to ask. I don't know whether Fuhad is yes.
Maybe he will address it probably when he comes in. Go ahead.
Okay, I want everybody to listen to this question. If by any means I have broken the law of the country, either by importing drug or selling drug or do anything that offends the constitution of the nation, of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, can I also take an oath in the office of a president to prepare the same constitution? If I'm found guilty of any reason that I have broken any law of the Nigerian constitution, can I at the same time take an oath in the office of a president to protect the constitution of Nigeria as Timothy, my name? I use myself as an example. Well, that's the question I'm asking the whole Nigeria this morning. Have a nice day.
All right. I really don't know what matter again that you're addressing. I don't know which one you're asking the question about, but then like you said, it's for Fuhad, so I'll run you. Thank you very much for your comment. I really don't know how, I don't want to say relevant it is to the conversation, but thank you very much. Well, that's it for Mainland Focus for today. Thank you so much for your participation. The phone lines are always still buzzing, even when we're about to leave, but I understand the desire to want to contribute and, lend a voice to the problems that we're dealing with in the country. But thank you so very much for your desire to call in, and thank you for definitely choosing to use our platform as a medium to get your opinions out there. We appreciate you. My name is Sage Babalola. On Monday, it's another opportunity. In fact, on Sunday, 6 to 8 p.m. there's political roundtable. Those are strictly political stories. So for those of you who like to do appraisal of the government and what have you, political roundtable is a platform where you can do that. So don't go anywhere. We will be back by 9:30 a.m. for Act View half hour, where we have conversations about your real estate needs and we give you advice on the best things to do if real estate investment is something you would like to get into. Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.